Mike, the disgruntled mechanic here. Today we're going to replace the control arm and upper ball joint on the 2000 Honda Civic. There's play in this one, so we're just going to replace the whole control arm and everything. I'll show you what's wrong and the play in it, and then we'll go to taking it apart. So let me see if we can get this in here. Oh, yep, you should be able to see that. That's the play we have. So let's get the tire off here, and we'll get the control arm out of there. So up here is the end of the bolt we got to get off, one on each side. You'll see that the bolt heads of course are inside, but that's the nut end, and I'm just going to spray some PB Blast on those quick. I haven't done that, and a little bit on our castle nut down here, and then we'll take the tire off like I said. There's two 10mm bolts here to get the bracket off for your brake hose. So before we do this, we'll take those out. So that's out. So we'll just take this cotter key out. So to get this ball joint out of here, we're just going to use the air and the pickle fork. There we go, popped. You can smack on it with a hammer if you want, but we just decided to do it this way. Quick and easy. Now be careful when this drops down, of course. You don't want to let it just slam down, which will probably happen anyhow. Not as bad as what I thought. Okay, just be careful so it doesn't come out here too far. Yeah, she's shot. Alright, so now we'll go up top and we'll take these two bolts out. You can't really see them here. We'll take those two bolts out and we'll put the new one in. Well, I like to use the air tools when I can, but since these are not quite enough room in there, we'll just use the hand tool. Yeah, fight me all the way. Just moving the control arm up and down a little bit to get this guy out. And there, just pulled it out. There it is. It's out. Doing. Let's get the new one in. There it is. Then we'll go up top. We'll slide the bolts through. We're only going to tighten them up so tight. We'll put them in first. Like I said, tighten them up so tight. Then we'll put this back together. We'll tighten this up. Then we'll load the suspension to where this control arm's actually going to be. And then we'll tighten up those top two bolts. So all I'm going to do now is slide those two bolts through from up top. Now we'll just get the steering knuckle here onto the control arm, tighten up our nut, castellation nut, and put a cotter pin in it. Going to tighten it up until it's tight, then find the hole and put the cotter key through. Got her lined up right there. Put that through. And while I'm at it, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to put my two 10mm back in to get the hose bracket and the hose back on before I forget about them. Okay, so now we'll load the suspension and then go up top and tighten those two up there. So now that we got the suspension loaded, we'll torque it to the proper torque specs. Come on. Good enough for me. So we tightened the castle nut up, got the cotter pin in, we put our bolts in up there, proper specs, we put our line back on, our brake hose back on, everything's tight. So I guess we'll put the tire back on and torque that up to the right specs and we're pretty much done. So there you have it. That's pretty much the process of doing an upper control arm on a 2000 Honda Civic EX. So as you see, not much to it. There you have it. Now we're ready to take it for a ride and see if it's got rid of one of the thumps and bumps it had in it. So anyhow, this is Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic saying, just remember, if you can get somebody else to do it, you're probably better off. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bolt! How could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten! How dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!